So first thing first, unlike Gerard, it's my first speech in an abroad speech, and it is absolutely my first speech in a huge attendees. So sorry for being so bad at speaking right now. I'm overexcited for that. So I wanted to, and thanks for Shannon for that opportunity. So I'm here to tell you how Turkish Airlines was the first airline to build an MCP server and what was the story behind that. But before that, a small advertisement. So Turkish Airlines is the airline that flies more countries than any other airline. And currently we have like 500 plus aircrafts, and we aim to be increasing that to 800. And we carry around 9 million passengers annually. So it is, as you already know, it is one of the biggest airlines in the world. And Turkish Technology is one of the technology companies behind that speed of innovation and technology. So we not only provide technology to Turkish Airlines and all the subsidiaries, we aim to be the technology provider for the whole airline industry over the next decade. And our team, Digital Lab, is at the core of that innovation. So our team tries to find new technological ways and how we can build new things upon emerging technologies. And MCP was one of them. We also tried Apple Vision Pro, but everybody forgot it. And we also working with startups and how we can collaborate on building new stuff. So when the buzz came at the beginning of this year, we were thinking how we can build an MCP for Turkish Airlines, because we truly believe that we will be talking with agents through different platforms over the years. But as it's mentioned, it was hard because when we first considered it, there was no authentication layer, and the specification was not ready yet. But through that time, as far as I remember, after the OAuth specification was released, I think after 1 or 2 weeks later, we started how we can build this MCP. So it is fully live. You can test it out today. It is not a demo thing. So as I said, we truly believe the chat is the new UI. So imagine that your mother-in-law is at your house and you are abroad, and you need to. She needs to go to the airport, but babysitter needs to come because obviously she cannot leave before babysitter comes. So with UI, you need to fill a lot of fields. You need to think if a babysitter comes at 9, she needs to at least have 2 hours of travel to the airport, and she needs to be checking and so on. What we can do with Turkish Airlines MCP is you can directly ask your question to whatever LLM you are using, whatever platform you are using, and it cleverly decides which flight is the best for her to take that flight. So, and we generate a booking link that directly goes to that flight with all the information pre-filled. And other use cases, for example, let's say I'm coming to here and I want to learn my baggage allowance, check if I can check in now. And with our MCP, you don't need to remember your PNR number. You don't need to remember anything. You can just ask if I can check in now, and it cleverly gets my upcoming flights, checks its booking status, and gives information to me. So those are the tools that we expose currently. So we have tools around searching flights, getting flight status, and getting booking details, checking if your flight is open for check-in or not. We also expose our promotions through MCP, so you can check if there's a promotion to whatever city you want to go. And for that city, we also have curated city guides you can use throughout our MCP. And one of the things that OAuth helped us was getting user profile, and we used OAuth to authenticate users through our Smiles frequent flyer program. And with that, you can also see things like what's my expiring miles, what are my upcoming bookings, and so on. So obviously, in an enterprise, it came with challenges. And the first and most obvious one, like security and governance, because it was a relatively new thing. And at that time, we were working on GitHub MCP was on the news with releasing all of their private data. And so they were really worried about if there is another security risk that we are adding to the bucket. So we used existing APIs. We used our mobile application and web application APIs. So we didn't just use any other, we didn't want to like connect truly to airline booking systems. We just proxied our API, mobile application API, and like used things like, so we used Cloudflare to secure all our OAuth layer. And we need to do rate limiting because we didn't want to expose our flight data availability, and obviously everyone would scrape that and get all those flight information and build just another website. So we used rate limiting by your frequent flyer ID, because when you start using our MCP, the first thing you need to do is log in through your frequent flyer ID. So our MCP is corely like end user focused, not just for any tech company. We are directly aiming end users. So we are authenticating with Smiles, and we use OAuth 2.1, but that came with another challenge because as mentioned, OAuth 2.1 is a relatively new standard, and all of our existing OAuth mechanisms does not support OAuth 2.1. So instead of waiting for almost a year for that things to change in the enterprise, we decided maybe we can implement OAuth in our MCP. So, and thanks to Cloudflare, there was a good example of how we can do that in using their worker platform, and we used Cloudflare Agent SDK and other stuff to build it relatively easier. So, and as I said, we are a lab environment, so in all of the features you see right now are like read-only flows, and we want to make you do actual stuff, but that comes with another security challenges because as mentioned as well, we need to make sure that the security is not well thought. So we are currently working on checking flows. You can just select whatever seat you want to select and continue. For example, you can say that I will take a flight and it's a morning flight, but I don't want to look to the sun through all my flights. So pick me a window seat that doesn't be exposed to sun all the time. So you can do things like that. And disruption is one of the things airlines and as customers we hate a lot. So we are working on things like when there's a disruption, we automatically suggest new flights to our customers, and we are working if we can do this through our MCP. And another thing that we are excited about is MCP UI, because no one wants to see all of that seat map in a like ASCII format or whatever. So we want to make sure that we can render UI through our MCP, and hopefully when the clients support it, it will be much easier for our customers to do whatever they need to do. And we are also planning to use that thing in our assistant as well. So that was Turkish Airlines MCP in a nutshell, but as Turkish Airlines and Turkish Airlines Technology, we also contribute to the open source. And I know it sounds like just another UI library, but we needed a UI library that was specifically designed for airline industry. And we developed Takeoff UI. And on top of that, we developed our Takeoff UI MCP, which you can use to like explore what are the tools that you can, what are the components that you can use in that UI. So you can, it is publicly available. You can test it out and use and get provide feedback. So it will be much appreciated. So lastly, in the enterprise world, using a cloud LLM is pretty tough. And we needed to find a way to use LLMs without compromising any security. So with our on-prem GPU machines, we deployed models like Q3 and so on, and we developed a ChatGPT-like platform that all of our employees can use. And in that TKGPT, we call it, we also enabled MCPs, and right now we are using Atlassian MCPs to gather things like what are my Jira tickets, what are my Jira tickets that needs to be solved yesterday, and so on. So, and maybe I can get information from Confluence and so on. And we are also working on adding like all of the MCPs that are being available right now, but adding an MCP to an enterprise application is much harder. So we need to find a better way to like centrally manage all of those stuff. And with that, I think it's done. So I really like that quote of Steve Jobs: "Technology is nothing. What's important is you need to give tools to the brilliant minds of the world, and they can build whatever they want in whatever they need." So thanks again, and sorry for I cannot even finish that. So thank you.